Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the numerology for the collective for July 2021, and then we're going to dive in deep into the energy around your own personal life path number. Before we get into the reading, I want to mention I have a new service and I'm super excited about it. It's very much aligned with these videos that I put out each month. So if this is something that you enjoy, then I think this is going to be an offering that you'll also enjoy. So basically, it's called Understanding the Journey Q&A. So you ask the questions, I give you the answers or the confirmation or clarity. So it's clarity through the numbers, and it's basically energy and numerology fusion. If you purchase this service, it includes a free full numerology report, which is around a $22 value, absolutely free. And so really it's like, what questions do you have pertaining to your current circumstances? What would you like to know about where you might be headed? With this service, I'll use your own personal numerology report, which I will read both practically and intuitively, to offer guidance and clarity on your questions around career, purpose, relationships, or just life in general. This service is meant to help empower you for when you make your decisions and to help you better understand your own personal journey as you continue to move forward. So much clarity can be gained through a better understanding of how the energy of the numbers that our own soul purposely chose before coming to Earth and how they impact our daily lives and the purpose we are meant to show up to daily. So, feeling stuck? Need confirmation or clarity? Let's dive in and take a closer look. This service includes, again, your full personal numerology report that's free. That's going to be my gift to you. A message from the animal spirits, and then guidance and clarity for your most pressing questions pertaining to, again, career, purpose, relationships, and life in general. So if that sounds like something that interests you, then head on over to my website. Under personalized services, you will find this offering and you can book some time with me. I will also leave a link in the description box below. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the reading for July 2021. So July is a 3 universal cycle. And so collectively, we will feel the influences of this energy throughout the month. What's interesting is that 3 energy is often sort of larger than life, big energy that needs to be moving and seen. It's a very creative, fire-like energy that burns quickly. However, for much of this month, there will be opportunities to sort of stand back and become the observer. So stop, look, and listen before taking that leap. This month will ask you to find grace, not only for self, but also for others. Surrender and acceptance for what you cannot control or change will serve you better than jumping to conclusions or making mountains out of molehills when that isn't the mountain that you're meant to be climbing. Those things that you feel like you have to force, they're not for you, and it will be sort of impossible to maintain that energy. Effort is a good thing and needed to reach our goals, but there's a difference between showing up and putting in the effort as opposed to trying to force something into existence. So pay attention to how you're expending your energy here. Oftentimes, all we need is a change in perspective to shift our actions, which then allows everything to flow much more smoothly. No force needed. So this month, things won't always be as they appear. Pay attention to the details before making your mind up about something, and allow some room for movement. Don't hold on to those opinions too strongly. Be as open-minded as possible because things you thought you were sure of or that you thought you knew might just surprise you. If you can loosen your grip a bit this month and go with the universal flow, then affairs will take care of themselves quite easily, without force. Give up the control. You're not going to miss out on what's meant for you. Okay? It might not happen to your predetermined timeline, but what's meant for you will show up when it is time. You can't mess that up. I think that's really important to remember. What's yours will find you. Communication is going to be key this month. So remember, communication is a two-way street where all parties need to be involved for it to work. In your conversations, are you communicating or are you attempting to influence? I'm going to ask that question again. In your conversations, are you actually communicating or are you attempting to influence? There's a difference. Open the lines of communication without the need to influence the others involved. Also, pay attention to your mindsets this month. Thoughts create actions, which create outcomes. So, is a change of view or mindset in order for you this month? That's going to be key. Again, don't force anything and pay attention to your mindsets. This month is definitely an interesting energy. Things can happen as if by magic with the less force you exert. Yes, you will have to put in the effort, but when that effort shifts to force, then you are then getting in your own way and impeding the process. So pay attention to where it is that you are moving your oars and steering the ship along with the flow of the universe, and where it is that you have turned the boat around and are desperately trying to force yourself against the current, against the flow. Which one feels more sustainable to you? Go with that one. And presumably it's going to be the one that you don't have to force. This energy this month has a lot to show us in how to make life much more easy and to release the struggle. Okay, 11 twos. So the energy in July for you all is really interesting. It's definitely sort of polarizing, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But anyway, I pulled a animal spirit card for you all, and this is where we have one side of the extreme. You got wasp spirit, and wasp message is sometimes life stings. And the reason why I say it's kind of like polarizing energy this month is because you have wasp's message, which sort of indicates that there's going to be a few challenges this month that you're going to need to handle maturely and overcome and have your emotions in check and that sort of thing. But then I look at the energy for the actual month for you all, and it's really beautiful energy. It's very, very positive, very uplifting, very much you standing in your power and stepping into your own, and a lot of recognition and so on and so forth. And I'll get into that, but it's interesting. So you can definitely see the two extremes. And so what that kind of tells me is that a lot of this month is going to be about how you show up for the energy, like how you choose, like which mindset you choose to stand in. And in the intro, I talked about the mindset creates the action, creates the outcome. And so that's where I'm saying, like, if something happens this month for you that is a little painful or a little challenging, you can either really get caught up in that energy and become sort of, go into victim mode of nothing ever works out for me and why, everything sucks or whatever the case may be, and really get stuck there. And so I think like WASP is reminding you, hey, sometimes life stings, right? Like sometimes things don't work out. But I think what's important to remember is if something's not working out and you have to force it, right? Like you're trying to manipulate the energy to make it work, then it's something that's not meant for you. It's not meant to work, right? It's kind of like, it's like I was talking about, I think earlier, where I said, if you have to force something into existence, that's not an energy that can be maintained. That's not a sustainable energy. So if there's a relationship, a career, a situation where you have to extend an exorbitant amount of energy into it and manipulate the situation to force that person to stay, to force, the environment to sort of suit your needs, if there's any kind of manipulation or forcing, it's not a sustainable energy. And so if something like that falls away and doesn't work, WASP is reminding you that's happening for your own good. That's happening for a reason. It's because that energy is no longer sustainable, or it wasn't sustainable in the first place. But it's like you just continue to show up and extend that energy and you're going to deplete yourself. So it's like when WASP shows up, it's usually because there's a situation that we're trying to force to occur or manipulate the situation, and it's not in our best interest. And so it has to end or fall away. And then it's in that ending that we can in turn like see like, oh, I failed at this, or life never works out the way I want it to. And you kind of fall into that victim mentality. When in reality, it was falling away for your own good, right? Like it's being released for your own good. And so I think that that's what you need to kind of keep in mind. It's like sometimes those stings, yeah, you honor how you feel. If a relationship ends, of course there's going to be some grief and sadness around that, because that's a lot of time that was invested in there. There's obviously emotional ties and all of that. But you have to understand that if a relationship falls away, there's a reason for that. And it's in understanding the reason that will give you the clarity to be able to release and move forward, right? So I just reiterate saying, what is meant for us will always find us, right? Even if it's like it falls away and then it comes back. Because that's the thing. It's like if something falls away, if it's truly not meant for you, you're not going to see it again, right? Even if you try to force to see it again, you're not going to see it again. It's just not going to align. But if something falls away and it's truly meant for you, it will circle back around. It will keep circling back around until whatever lesson or whatever, wisdom is pulled from that experience. So you can't mess that up. So what's meant for you will find you. And what's not meant for you will fall away. And even though that can sting, you have to understand that there's no shame in that falling away. There's no failure in that. If anything, it's the universe conspiring to work with you and not against you. So anyway, I just think it's really important to kind of understand that framework with WASP's message, because I think there's going to be some opportunities this month, even though it's not necessarily highlighted in the energy, but I think, it's a general reading. So there's going to be some opportunities that might sting a little bit. And it's how you work through that energy that's going to make all the difference, right? If you get stuck in it and you try to force and manipulate, you're just going to make life way more uncomfortable for yourself, as opposed to understanding why it's being released or why the sting sort of had to happen, okay? So as we move into the month, I broke it down into 4 weeks. And like I said, there is just such beautiful energy this month that, that's ready to be harnessed and embraced. So it's what you do with the energy. You can stay in the WASP mentality, or you can see things for what they are and transition into openly receiving this beautiful, beautiful energy that wants to come in for y'all this month. And I love to see this for 11s because, like one of my biggest followings are 11-2s. And so, I'm very well aware, and I also have a lot of 11-2s in my own personal life, in relationships. And so I know the struggle. I know what you all signed up for. And, I can definitely empathize with that. But I just think it's beautiful to see really nice energy come in for you all, because I know it can be a struggle sometimes. So anyway, it's always what we do with the energy, but you guys have some great energy coming in this month. So let's look at it. So the first week, some beautiful recognition, accolades, some kind of like, just this really supportive energy coming in right out of the gate in July. And so I almost feel like it's like work related or purpose related, right? Like something you've put out there that gets like a lot of accolades or a lot of recognition, something coming in, or it's like, it could be anything, but it just feels like people seeing you and seeing your contribution and appreciating that contribution. And I think appreciation is really the key word. It's like just feeling appreciated, feeling needed, feeling like, what you're doing is making a difference. I think that really is going to put some wind in your sails. I think that's going to make you feel really good about the work that you're doing, or, how you're showing up in the world, that sort of thing. And yeah, just accepting that, I know for 11-2s, you have that 2 core energy, which really likes to be behind the scenes. But I feel like at the beginning of the month, there's something that comes up that's really putting you in the spotlight. And though that can be a little bit uncomfortable, 11s are really meant to be in the spotlight, or at least your work is meant to be in the spotlight. How you present to the world is meant to be in the spotlight. So because you're meant to have a bigger impact, sorry to say, if you wanted to be like in the, behind the scenes, 11s didn't come here for that. If you truly step into your 11 energy, your work or yourself will be in the public eye. That's just the way it is. But it's definitely about like this great recognition, great support, accolades, again, feeling appreciated, feeling needed, feeling supported. So beautiful, beautiful energy. Definitely embrace it, work with it. Just allow yourself that recognition. Allow yourself to know that you're worthy of it, and that what you do matters and what you contribute matters. Like, it's very much needed. Second week is, again, beautiful, beautiful energy. I almost see like this could be like relationship related. So like romantic relationship, like you meeting a soulmate or twin flame or something like that. Some kind of like cosmic connection where you're coming together with this person. And there could be some healing around this relationship. But it's almost like you seeing eye to eye. It's like the illusion, the chaos has parted, and now you're seeing eye to eye, and you're able to come heart center to heart center and be on the same page. And so however that translates, but I definitely see like a coming together. And that could be like a working together, partnering with, or just mending of that relationship to where it no longer feels like chaotic or draining or difficult or whatever. So I definitely see that. I also could see that, some of you may meet a soulmate at this time, or a twin flame or something like that. Again, a very cosmic connection, a heart, soul to soul, heart to heart connection. You could be meeting somebody for the first time this week at this time, maybe through those accolades, through that exposure that you have at the beginning of the month, you meet this person. It's very possible. But this is definitely a divine connection. So it's like you have a contract with this person in this lifetime, and it should feel really harmonious and really beautiful. It's very supported. So it's kind of like divinely guided, basically. So yeah, it's definitely like a coming together. It could be you yourself sort of balancing out those feminine and masculine energies from within, because we all have those feminine and masculine energies within. They're not always in balance, and it could be kind of like you doing something, or doing some self-exploration or whatever, that helps you to balance those energies from within, your yin and yang. So that's very, very possible. It might not be that you're actually meeting a physical other person or healing a relationship with another physical person. It could be that it's a lot of internal work taking place, but it's very soulful and very beautiful and very supported. So very beautiful energy there. Also, I want to just mention, I definitely get the energy around relationships. So this could also be for some of you a parting of ways in a relationship, but I feel like it's going to be done very harmoniously, or it has the potential to be done very harmoniously. So it's kind of like you're able to separate without animosity and without anger and resentment and all of that. And it's like both parties are able to do that. So it's kind of like you both recognize you need to go down different paths, but it's one of those kind of like splittings where it's like very amicable, and you guys can almost pretty much be friends after the split. So that's interesting. And that's one of those things too, where it's like, because 11/2s are very emotionally sensitive, and sometimes you can be really in your emotions. And so it would be very easy for you to fall into the wasp energy and be really combative or like angry or resentful or whatever. And it all goes back to that mindset, right? Like understanding that this person served a purpose within your life for however long they were with you. And if it's falling away or it's being released, there is a reason for that. And you can either be bitter about it, or you can see it for what it is and maintain some kind of connection with that person, which is the higher octave of that experience, right? So definitely seeing an opportunity for, if there's a split happening at this time, it has the potential to be very amicable, assuming both parties are emotionally mature enough to be able to handle that, right? Then the third week, it's interesting. It's kind of like, it's almost like there's a change in your environment, a shift where something has come to completion, but it feels like a good completion, right? And again, it goes back to maybe it's about that relationship or something like that. And it also could be like a work relationship that's coming to an end type thing, whatever. It definitely feels relationship-y though. Relationship-y. I don't know if that's a word, but anyway, definitely feels like it's around relationships. So third week, we have this very like finalized energy where it's like something has come to completion, you're done with it, you feel good about it, and now you're looking to the future, to the next thing. And it's like you feel like the world is your oyster type thing. And again, it can be around relationships, it can be around just exploration of yourself or others or the world, quite literally, if you're going to go traveling or something like that. But it's almost like this chapter has come to a close and you feel really good about that closure. And so now you're looking to the future, to the next chapter. You're starting the next chapter and you're deciding how you want that story to be told and what it needs to look like, and what the next steps are. And though you might not have all the clarity just yet, it will come. But it's like that energy of like starting something new and like excited about what's to come and like what you're creating and what might pop up or whatever the case may be. So really beautiful energy there as well. An opportunity for something new, some new exploration, for just something to create something new within your life. Especially if you're starting to feel a little bit stagnant, this is a great opportunity to get those juices flowing and find your inspiration and just get creative again. And then fourth week, again, beautiful, beautiful energy, very father-like energy, very masculine energy of like action, but also not wounded masculinity. So it's very much like this, standing in your power, but not in a way where you need to manipulate or influence other people, but rather leading by example type thing. Very 11-2 energy, where you are inspiring others through your own actions that are very higher octave, right? Where it's like your actions are actually bringing harmony to a situation as opposed to fueling the fire to a situation, right? You're not bringing the divisiveness, you're bringing the harmony. And not even through doing anything in particular, but rather just showing up as who you are. So I feel like at the end of the month, you're going to have an opportunity to be a leader in some way, whether that's taking the reins and being the leader within your own life and making very sound, practical, leadership quality decisions about your own life. Because that's another thing too with 11, sometimes, and 2s as well. You can be sometimes very indecisive, right? And that just comes from lack of confidence or, fearing like you're going to make a mistake or something like that. But I feel like at the end of the month, something comes in where you need to make some kind of a decision. And you're really stepping into that role of being more decisive and more confident and really trusting yourself with this leadership, whatever it is. And again, it could just be like leadership within your own life where you're being very decisive in your actions and what you want and going after that and not second guessing yourself and just going with the energy as you make those choices. So very wise energy coming in at the end of the month, using that wisdom from your past experiences, using your knowledge as well and your real world life skills to make these decisions that I feel like will really impact and influence the coming months and the coming year. So just an opportunity for you to really step into your power at this time and to make those decisions, those hard decisions. Sometimes that's why we all are indecisive at times, is because the decisions that are the most difficult to make is where we become the most indecisive. So it's kind of like, I feel like there might be some hard decisions to make at the end of the month, but I really see you stepping into your own and just really trusting yourself and trusting your inner guidance and making that decision and then dealing with whatever consequences come up because of that, but in a very mature way, right? And taking responsibility and accountability for whatever those decisions are. But I definitely see you like really stepping into your own in this at this time. And again, it's a very masculine type energy that I'm seeing. And remember, we all have that masculine energy from within, but it's not that wounded masculine, right? It's very much driven by, wanting to take action, but take action that's does no harm, that sort of thing, right? And really like feeling very confident in what you want and how to go after it. So really, really powerful energy this month, 11s, but it's really beautiful too. I love to see the recognition coming in for you all. For some of you, like I said, that might be a little bit uncomfortable because I feel like it's going to kind of catapult you into the spotlight a little bit. And I know that can be uncomfortable, but also I feel like it's preparing you for a bigger stage, right? Like I said, like 11s are meant to be seen. At least their work is meant to be seen, and what they present to the world is meant to be seen, because you are igniting that inspiration within others and inspiring others to use their voice as well. And so you want to do that in the most elevated way. But yeah, so, and then the things with relationships coming in and just this new path. I just see you all kind of having an opportunity to start a new chapter, and it's kind of like that feeling of excitement when you start a new chapter. So, and then being really, trusting yourself and trusting the universe as you make these decisions moving forward. So I hope that that's helpful. I hope that July is a beautiful month for you all. I think that it will be. Thank you all so much for your support, for listening. I see each and every one of you, and I absolutely appreciate you. Like I said, 11-2s are one of my biggest followings, and I just so appreciate you all, especially knowing, like I said, what y'all signed up for. So proud of you guys. Keep going. You've got this. And I think July is going to be an awesome month. So take care, everyone. I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.